Hello everyone, it is January 2024 and this is a quick video to announce that I'm starting a new Patreon channel for supporters of my work. First things first, I'll get a few disclaimers out of the way early on. My prime motivation for putting into the world the work that I have for the best part of the past 15 years has been to spread empowering, uplifting truth as far and wide as possible. It's never been my motivation to make money out of what I do. As anyone who has done this kind of work will tell you though, whether it's self-publishing books, whether it's doing audiobooks, whether it's doing live talks and tours, whether it's going on podcasts and making videos, appearing on people's radio shows, whether it's attending freedom rallies, whether it's organizing any kind of live event. These come with operating costs attached. That's the reality of the world in which we must operate until we find a better way of doing things. So, the same as anyone else, I am unable to put my work into the world without bearing some personal cost myself. Now, for anyone with a regular full-time job, they can do a certain amount of planning and budgeting, but when you do the sort of work that I do, it's all very unpredictable. And you're reliant upon the support of people who appreciate what you do. I feel it's important to point out that I've never really monetized any of my work beyond the books, and of course, no author can afford to give away books for free, and live talks. And again, there are costs involved in hiring venues and putting on events which must be met. But I've never monetized any of my video content, any of my interviews, any of my audio stuff, and I still don't intend to. So that's the ugly stuff out of the way, and I had to address it because I know otherwise there will be calls of, he's just in it for the money, that's the only reason he does all this. It's absolutely not. Things just reach a point where sometimes these things become essential. Now, let me just clarify the way this Patreon is going to work. It is not going to affect any of the content that I've already put out, and that will continue in exactly the same way as it has. So, all of the interviews that I do when I jump on other people's podcasts as a guest, the Good Vibrations podcasts that I host myself, those speech-based conversations, the Sound of Freedom conscious music show, all of that will continue as before. I'm not going to put that behind any kind of paywall. It's always going to be available for free. What's going to be made available to my Patreon supporters is exclusive video content where I'm going to be presenting aspects of my research which has not been published thus far in any of my books. So there's a lot there, trust me. There's information which has been uncovered in the same vein as what has gone into the first 3 volumes of Musical Truth, which I want to make available. I want to share my findings with people. So there's a lot there, trust me, and I do want to start presenting some of this stuff. So those who choose to support me on this Patreon will get exclusive access to that content, which I won't be putting out there widely at this point, not to say that I won't ever, but Patreon supporters will get immediate first access to this information presented for the first time. It is entirely optional as to whether people support me on this platform. If you don't want to, fine, no problem. You'll be able to continue getting all the same information that I've been putting out on my various platforms. This option is there for those who decide voluntarily of their own free will that they would like to support me in the work that I do and help me to meet some of the operating costs to ensure that it can continue. It's as simple as that. If you don't appreciate what I do, don't join the Patreon. If you can't afford it, don't join the Patreon. It's entirely a matter of personal decision. For those that do wish to support me in this way, and I do get messages from people from time to time saying, how can we send you a donation? How can we support what you do? We appreciate your efforts and the information you put out. Well, here's an opportunity on an ongoing basis to do that. So I'm kicking it off with $10 a month. It seems to be priced in US dollars. I didn't see an option there to change it to British pounds or anything else. So it's $10 US, whatever that translates to in pounds if you're in the UK. That price per month will get you this exclusive video content. So I'm going to try and put out at least 3 videos a month. I do have a lot going on in my schedule, and it might not always be possible every single month to put out that number, but I'm certainly going to aim for it. And if I fall short in any given month, I will try and make it up in the following month. So that's the initial offer. It's going to be videos consisting of information that I've not presented publicly before, resulting from my research. I hope people would agree that that's a very low cost to come in at, and I hope people would agree that my work carries the kind of value that can justify that sort of outlay for those who, again, choose to do it. No pressure on anyone. And for anyone who still feels that I'm in it just for the money, there's not a whole lot I can tell you. Maybe you want to jog along to the next website, the next researcher, because you'll be more at home there than on my platforms. All right. So for everyone else, for anyone who is finding this offer of interest, I hope to see you over on my new Patreon. I'll be posting my first content there very shortly, and the link to it is in the description box below. Thanks for listening. If you don't want to join the Patreon, I'll continue to see you on all the regular outlets. And if you do, catch you there soon. Thanks for listening. Cheers.